Speaking of a bunch of bigoted racists, this weekend
and sad people
and super sad people. I mean, honestly, like, if
drain.
I wasn't with somebody, let's start with Gavin's thing here, because if I hadn't been hanging out this weekend with friends of mine who used to consider themselves at least friendly with Gavin McInnes. And, you know, I hop on Twitter every now and then and I see the videos of this. And I start talking about it and they were just like, man, this dude, the desperation, the level of desperation for this guy to get some acclaim. He's still smarting from the fact that all his buddies' advice are now, I don't know, multi-billion millionaires, and he's just got a couple $1 million from it. And the fact that, like, he thought he was going somewhere on Fox and that didn't work out, and he's not taken seriously as a comedian in any fashion or whatnot.
He's really not funny.
Well, because he's not funny,
Oh, man.
and there's just a level of desperation, and you can see, and we've seen it with clips because other people have sent us stuff, and generally I don't do it, but, you know, I just had this conversation with somebody, actually a couple of people this weekend about this. You can see him progressively get more racist and more sort of controversial or trying to be, and so, you know, usually we do this stuff because it's exposing something, but this is just sort of, this gives you an insight into the psyche of these alt-right people. You can't see the image. This is from their, what did they charge, $100 to come to this thing?
That's what I saw.
Oh my God.
Whoever paid $100 for this
unbelievable
should be on a list.
What you could buy for $100 in terms of like entertainment value of this caliber.
I mean, like lighting a spliff with $100 bill. You don't even have to go that high.
No, but then at least you're getting high.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you could literally.
So let me just give you a sense of the scene here. Gavin McInnes is on stage wearing a slightly ill-fitting suit. Behind him are a bunch of guys.
Virgin.
Guys there's a couple of guys in suits, and then they're all in these the Fred Perry tennis shirts. You know, the polo shirts, which is, I guess, because they're all part of a club or something like. It's like they're
Proud Boys.
Is that honestly what they is that really?
Yeah, it's
like,
pronounced Proud Boys.
These are, and I just want to make this clear. These are, they're grown men. These are not like a bunch of 14-year-olds hanging out, like dressing up like.
These are grown men.
I feel like I need to say this to explain what I'm looking at.
Do you think you could ever end up in a group like this, even at your most awkward period? I mean, come on.
Technically speaking, though,
let's
they
not
are
insult
grown men, right? I mean, this is sadder than sad, because it's not. You know, it's like they're not even like some type of like criminal enterprise, right? Like where this is just far. We're just guys hanging out, and we're like a club, like we're like a gang, like, you know, this is like the Lords of Flatbush, you know, except for all that we have together.
Our gang, instead of running together and stealing cars, we pay $100 to hear weird social media freaks.
Right, exactly.
So, occasionally go to protests and call people fags.
Now, yeah, here is like
more than occasionally.
I think this is sort of a comedy routine that bleeds into a political screed. I think like it's
/ psychic call for help.
I would say this is a psychic call for help. Period. That manifested through this stuff. Like I wouldn't even put the slash,
it was
because
the context.
Right, exactly.
It was the baseline.
Yeah. Listen to this.
For example, say you're having sex with a tranny, right?
Now pause it for 1 second. Like,
okay,
first
Gavin,
of all, did you hear all the laughter? No, because there's not really no one's even laughed. Like they even in the context of this, people are just like, wait, what?
They don't enjoy their own material.
The guy, can you just go back for a second? Because the guy with the beard behind him is making has a look like, like, because Gavin's whole shtick is like, I'm going to say this edgy stuff, right? Because we're all edgy. But the guy behind him is like making a face like, well, just watch it.
For example,
The guy with the beard.
say
Watch
you're
it.
having sex with a tranny, right?
He gets the what?
If you're a straight man and you like women, you look down and you see that weird, like, elephant trunk baby penis that I assume they have.
What?
Do you like that? Oh, okay. Are you gay? Doesn't a gay like a giant erect cock? So you're looking down at this weird, twisted course of events that you created with lies. We're having people now say that if you don't want to suck off a woman on her cock, then you're sexist. We just had Monique. You know Monique? She looks like Oprah got run over by a bus. We just had Monique say,
No,
I think
pause
it's
it for 1 second. So his I guess his anti-trans, I guess that's what it is, material wasn't hitting it off.
No.
Right? So he's
He's
like,
turf now? Like, what's up with that?
don't
It's
know,
super.
like-
There's like a super
like,
easy solution.
I'm
Like, just,
sure.
like,
I'm
don't
sure
have
there's a
sex with
person.
transgender
I am
people if you
sure
don't
there's a
desire
person out there who has said that you are anti-feminist if you don't want to fillet a penis. I'm sure there's a person who's done that. But in what circles is Gavin existing that this is like a major issue that he's finding he has to deal
I have
with
to say,
on a regular basis,
I
living up in Westchester
have
County,
never heard
in the suburbs.
any person with remotely my kind of politics, from like Waz to Jamie, spend a fraction of time talking about these scenarios that Gavin McInnes. Like every time I come across a Gavin McInnes clip, it seems as if there's like some type of like transgender force intervention brigade that's forcing him
Right. Like
to
they're following
contemplate
him
fucking them.
around
I
Westchester.
don't engage in this. None of my transgender friends, like, this is not a part of any life I recognize.
Now,
Sounds
so,
like he learned about trans stuff from turf message boards.
but here is a little bit of insight into the comedy world. When you realize your anti-trans stuff isn't working and you're in this crowd, what you immediately have to do is go for the straight-on misogyny, but also racism.
she looks like Oprah got run over by a bus.
Why would
We just had Monique say, I think it's racist that I got a terrible offer on my Netflix comedy special. Meanwhile, you have guys like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock making tons of money. Why aren't I getting money? It's racism. And you go, Monique, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock are black, you stupid bitch. What are you complaining about? And I feel like saying that to the left in general. What are you complaining about? Why do you hate that we're here right now talking about stuff?
Pause it for 1 second.
I think we're okay
I want to
with
make
it.
something absolutely clear. I love that you're there talking about stuff. Like we're just spending an entire 5-10 minutes. In fact, the other day, like I spent more time making fun of this and bonding with people who you used to hang out with.
Yeah, actually, can we
over
put-
how bad it was.
Can we
that
put
I
this
would,
in context? That I'm sorry, just to add, Matt and I didn't know that this happened, and so that's how disconnected and little we care. And then we got an email from Sam saying, "Please don't use all the clips when Michael hosts solo on Monday. I need some for Tuesday."
Right.
So the reactions ranged from like just complete beyond indifference, because indifference would even imply that I knew it was happening, to active care, as in, this brings me so much joy.
Now let me cop to this. The consumer protection part of me as a leftist does feel that perhaps this is more of like a $12 to $15 show. But I'm not going to complain because I understand different strokes for different folks. But let's just go back, because this next part is really important.
For different strokes for
because
different men not
Gavin
getting
is very upset about all the complaints from the black female comedians or whatever it is. But because Gavin now puts out a challenge. Let's hear it.
What are you complaining about? And I feel like saying that to the left in general. What are you complaining about? Why do you hate that we're here right now talking about stuff? Why don't you want to debate us? Why do you have a problem with traditional people doing traditional stuff?
All right, pause it for 1 second. And in fact, end it.
He's not a racist. He's a Western chauvinist.
I don't know what traditional people doing traditional stuff means. I don't know if
It's
you guys
definitely
were
traditional people meet in a room of like enraged freaks in an overpriced event in Midtown Manhattan to fucking rant about having sex with transgender people and not wanting to or something. I've met some traditional people, some of whom I have some political disagreements with.
Maybe it's
but
the
they're
Fred
like
Perry shirts. Maybe it's the Fred Perry shirts are the tradition. I don't know. But here's the thing. Gavin says, why won't you debate us? And I want to make this clear to Gavin. I will debate you. I will debate you on this show. I will debate you on your show. I will debate you in public. I will debate you in private. I will debate you over the phone, via Skype, in person, through any technology you want. And you can explain to me like what traditional people doing traditional things are, and then we can actually debate between the differences between left and whatever it is that you think that you are. You want to debate on policy? I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'll debate your bizarre freak event unless there's like, a basketball game on.
If you want to debate as to the merit of $100 event where it's just a bunch of people who feel like they earned it by getting into a suit and getting drunk and ranting about stuff that they fantasize about, maybe I will concede that, look, like I say, people can pay whatever on. But here it is. Gavin, you want to debate with somebody on the left? Happy to oblige at any time. The ball is in your court. Just let me know. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos